Hello, welcome to Mystic Moons. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Subscribers, you're welcome back. And to those who are new to Mystic Moons, welcome. Today we're going to have readings about is Donald J. Trump, our president of less than 2 months, leading us? Where is he leading us? Is he leading us to war? It's highly suspicious, isn't it? I've done readings before about President Trump's leadership prior to his actual inauguration. And they were rather glum. But we have to constantly ask ourselves again and again, where are we headed? Where is the United States headed? And what is there to gain from either direction, war or peace? In fact, it's even juvenile to even think about having anything other than peace, because civilizations thrive on effective leadership, peace, progress. And what is progress? Is progress slaughter? Is progress taking what doesn't belong to you? Well, throughout the West, it has had a history in several millenniums of taking what does not belong to the countries involved. However, I think that we would reach a certain point that we would stop doing this. We would stop trying to take what is not ours, and we would just take our forces, our people, and explore the directions that we can go. So let's just ask ourselves, is President Trump leading the United States to war? We can briefly examine some of the affairs that have been happening. Well, we're going to annex Canada. We've offered Canada 51st statehood. And we've gotten a whole lot of oh no, from the governments involved of the provinces of Canada. We've also decided, hey, we could take over Greenland. We can take over the Panama Canal. We could take over any small country we wish, because we are the United States. Now, is this attitude the best attitude for our country, for our children, for our future? Is there a future? Now, it's very, very turbulent times. Why? I mean, this is Donald Trump's second term, so he obviously has learned a thing or two since his first term. And what is that? Might makes right? Might never makes right. It makes slaughter, it makes destruction, it makes uneasiness. But does it make right? Now, recently, we have so much bravado, not coming only from President Trump himself, but also coming from his wingmen. They're going to change this, they're going to change that. And there's also talk of reducing the federal government by 90% of workers. And how would you say a smaller government? No, there's no such thing as a smaller government. It just means a non-human workforce. We mean to say that it's becoming techno-government, a technology government, which is surprisingly a lot of the supporters and his staff is made up tech giants, which we already can see. And we can say the government is trimming off the fat, trimming off the ways, yes. But have we started with the ones who are primarily vociferous about how we stop the wars? And you know what's strange too? When you think about the wars, you think about, why are we making weapons? Why are we bombing? Why are we doing this and that when we do know that there is weather weapons, right? We can channel, we can make hurricanes, we can make earthquakes, we can do this, we can do that. And why do we show these greasy, slick, oversized, phallic symboled bombs. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. The psychology of world leadership, of where it's going. Why must there be chaos? And in fact, even rather humorously so, the Statue of Liberty was given to us roughly 200 plus years ago as a symbol of freedom, right? A symbol of freedom. Now, some kind of Frenchman of the EU wants it back because he says Trump is violating the notion of freedom. You know why? Why? Because we won't support, because Trump does not believe that the Ukrainian war should continue. It's like foot in the mouth, foot in the mouth, foot in the mouth, constantly foot in the mouth. Where are we going with this Trump presidency? I asked you. Let's do a reading. Where is this Trump? Where is the sanity? What question to ask first? Why is there war talk? Why? Why do we have war? Because we cannot do manufacturing anymore, because maybe the comet that has been disappeared for X amount of years is going to destroy everything and everybody wants to get to Mars first. Is that out of the question? We already know that we have high velocity interstellar vehicles. We've seen that for months and months and months. November, December, January, and all of a sudden now that Trump has said he's going to tell us what these supersonic vehicles in the sky were, and it's silent. In fact, we're just drudging up who killed Kennedy, who killed Martin Luther, which has happened over 50 years ago. And we all have a pretty good idea. Do we have to hear the words? Not really. I'd rather talk about what happened a couple months ago with the drones. I'd rather talk about what are the chemtrails. I'd rather talk about when is the price of food going to go down. And so would you. However, we hear nothing but tariff wars. And we all know trade is a symbol of peace, trading, right? And trade wars are the preliminary to wars, to actual wars. People don't have, people want, and people need to get. So we can see, where is this Trump, Donald Trump? Who is this man? I mean, who is he? Who is Donald Trump? Let's just see, who is Donald Trump? Who is Donald Trump? Donald Trump is our president. He's a real estate developer. He is a man of might, a man who uses. And what is at hand? And we just have to ask ourselves, where are we going? Are we pleased about this? During Biden was president for 4 years. We had this faraway war in Ukraine. True. And we were suspicious about that. And now we're also made to be suspicious about a pen that automatically signs, auto pen. How many people carry or use an auto pen? However, we found out that Donald Trump had 2 auto pens. And that is something that is lingering in the minds of all of us. All of us. Now, so we had 4 years of who made a lot of gaffers. He stumbled, and he was very much into rainbow flags. And there was how many genders? I don't know, hundreds, thousands. If you could be whatever you wanted to be, a unicorn, a fairy, a gopher, whatever, a man, a woman, whatever. And that was hailed as revolutionary. Now, President Trump comes in and said, hey, buddies, there's only 2. There's male or female. If you want to dress up in costume, that's something else. But there's only 2. So now we've downsized. And so now maybe our imaginations we can no longer fantasize below our belts. We have to put our stuff into another gear. And what is this gear? This gear is hallelujah. Hallelujah for what? Hallelujah for high prices. Hallelujah for where is Trump leading us? Now, let's see. Let's do a basic. Where are we going? All right, let's just pull a few cards. Where are we going with this Trump presidency? Where are you going? Where's your pocket going? And after 4 years, 5 years of lockdown and all these rules and regulations masked up, and all these humans are germy creatures, now all of a sudden we're like, game. Game for what? Have the American people been tossed around like a salad, like a buffet? And still, do we have a direction? Where are we going? Where is Trump leading us? All right. And many people, and who billionaires investigating us are something they created. Are they investigating everyone? Rich, or are they investigating themselves? How much information? It seems like it. I mean, who got more money than Google? Who got more money than Elon Musk from the taxpayers, from the government, from these different things? And all of a sudden, what are you going to do with all these thousands and thousands and thousands of laid off fronts? Right? Lots of different fronts. We have the Eight of Wands. Eight's a symbol of power. Eight, a number of power. The eight is who can slither, shield us from all this chaos. And where is this chaos coming from? The next card that we get, we have the moon. The moon. The moon. Are you sure where we're going is where we should go? Are we going in the right direction? Overwhelming force. And the moon would be the receiving force, the shadow, the quasi, semi-quasi fluctualities, or reflecting the yells of the poor and the middle class, soon to be poor. Where is all this going? Where is it going? Now, then we have the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is a sign of celebration. And what are we celebrating? Two genders, high prices, tariffs. We will make our might, as we swallow up lessers, as we swallow up more to become something bigger, like an amoeba, grabbing and grasping until we have what? When we all know that somebody can come and just trigger a fault line, Saint Madre's fault line between the heartland, central United States, or the coastlines on either side, things can be triggered. Tornadoes can be triggered. I mean, what are we really celebrating? Are we celebrating a false God, a true God? Are we a true celebration, or are we just celebrating because we have a direction? And what is this direction? This direction towards war. And what are we to gain from war? Are we gaining more blood, more skin tissue, more organ donation? What do we get? What are we celebrating? More people to boss around, more people to mine, more or less, or less. Now the next card we have here is Empress. The Empress that we are acknowledged spiritually as being the leader of the world. The leader of the world. That's very carefully cued statement, the leader of the world. How can we have leadership when we ourselves, which direction are we going? Are we going towards the red hat Hopi legend of like war on each front, left and right, East Coast, West Coast wars, war with China, war with Russia, and chaos? The leader of war is chaos. War is not being able to solve things, which is why President Trump is trying to calm down the appearance of Ukraine. Now, Ukraine has been artificially pumped up by the EU. Now, do you think that UK and France are going to chill on this? Oh, no. They have a lot of stakes in Ukraine. So we have squabbles among former friends. Is France, a friend of us. In fact, Trump is recently wanting to pass the Alien Enemies Act, which is responsible for the Japanese during the Second World War into internment camps. Who is he going to put in internment camps this time? That's a good question. And to grant powers such as that, where will it lead? Where is this democratic Fifth Amendment, First Amendment, the Constitution? Is the Constitution going to be thrown out? Is he going to start over? It's just like monitoring the internet for porn, child porn, when it's up to every parent to watch your own children's, your own house's order, really. Right? That's what a parent is supposed to be. A government is a collection of free people. Now we have the fool. Well, it's still up for grabs of where we are going to go with this energetic force, this big man talk, this force field. You do what I say or else. Now, do you think if each leadership, each country, each city, state, country, as well as collective, the larger ones, China, Russia, and the United States. Now, each of those are barking and saying what? We do this or we will destroy you. Can't we all live collectively together? Now, we do know that where is Trump leading us? The Fool, the Empress, the Three of Cups. Trump is trying to lead us into American prosperity. But what is the trade-offs? What is American prosperity? What is prosperity in 2025? Is prosperity colonialization? We actually want to take all of this. And even saying that you're going to turn Gaza into the Riviera. Has anybody been to the Riviera lately? Turning it into Miami Beach, turning it into what? We can't say LA, the Palisades, because that's already burned. Maui. What is the end result for taking over another culture and imposing your standards, your idea of what's fun? And what is fun? Is it fun following the richest guys in the world and saying, oh, wow, you're really having fun, and watching you is making me salivate over my hamburger and French fries? Is it? We don't really know where Trump is leading the war effort to, because we have the Fool, which is interpretive. In other words, changeable. But are we actually also the Fool? Fool could be like somebody is being led. It is true leadership is not being, the true leader of the movement is under wraps. It's hidden. Let's examine this Fool for a moment. What is this direction of this energy, of this Fool? Is this a good Fool? Is this a constructive Fool? What is this? Let's just take this one. And let's go this one. What is this Fool? All right. We're working together and we have, this means that whoever agrees with, it's almost as though this Fool is whoever can get the most applause, the most unity, the most joining, the biggest club speaks for all. That's what the Fool is. The Fool is still interpretive. It's working with others, as many you can get to join your side as possible. Is that why the invitation to Greenland, to Canada, it's been extended, as well as taking over the Panama Canal? That seems to be what the club of it is, getting as much membership. Now, since NATO is broken down, and can we thank President Trump for that? NATO is colonizing force. Maybe the era of working together. I mean, United States 200 years ago was fighting against France, was fighting against England. We friend enemies, friend enemies. However, are any of these friend enemies really working for themselves, really working for the people, really working for the direction that the people should go? These are questions that we have to ask as we seek to defire. Each country is firing thousands is towards digitized everything. Digitized everything. Everything. We're going towards robots. Of course, we have Elon Musk driving the engine, and he wants to go to Mars next year, the end of next year. All right. And we also know that he has all full capabilities of leaving the planet. So, where does that leave? Well, back again. Now, now, a lot of people have very strong emotions about Donald Trump. This changes. Why can't we have consistent manufacturing, consistent peace? Why do we have to have all these regulations in terms of monitoring this, monitoring that, every single thing? Why are we so glued to who is president? Shouldn't we be more glued to our communities? And you're going to get smashed on drugs. You're going to get, oh, wow, I can do drugs now. Is that something that is good for a society? And is this a society that money is funneling things to his friends, to his donors? That's not fun. Freedom to interject. You can say, oh, a person to a hungry person. Well, you can eat this and that, and you look at one menu after another menu, but if there's no food, the person's stomach remains empty, and nothing has changed other than just seeing what is what. So you have to ask, is Trump, now if we get into a war scene, I mean, an active war declaration. We are in a war scene. People expect, all over the world, expect within months that World War III will be announced. Is that just what we're waiting? Oh, it is. You can have warm weather, and then all of a sudden somebody says, well, it's summer, you fool. What do you expect? Of course, it's warm weather. Is that the same thing it's going to be for war? And you can see what was Maui, what was LA, what was this recent East Coast incident of fire. What is all these fires? What is this strange hurricane force weather in the middle of the heartlands, in the center of the United States? I thought that hurricane force winds, you had to be next to an ocean. Apparently not anymore. When are we going to try and use our own brain power? Can't we have something that goes along that line? Can't we? Must we? Need? Yes, we must. Where can this go? If we have war, I mean, actual declaration of war, what will that lead to? It's more of the same, higher prices. How many? And as I said, why should there be any need for missiles and weapons when we all the systems, there's HARP, and I don't know what the French call their high density weather modification machines. I don't know what the Russians call theirs. United States isn't the only one with these frequency waves. And if, what is the outcome? What is the outcome? Reduce GPA and GPS? Not GPA, not GPS. Oh yeah, we couldn't go anyplace because do we want our country to look like Ukraine? Do we want our country to look like Gaza? Do we want New York to be to war?